Welcome to Lines on Page, Season 2, Episode 7. I had to figure out my numbers quick. And yeah, it feels good to be back in the saddle again. I actually just put up a newsletter earlier this morning, um, basically just talking about dealing with injuring my forearm and navigating through burnout and all that fun stuff. Uh, but before I get into all that stuff, we're going to do a bit of housekeeping. And first things first, Haven Comics is located at 1871 Slaughter Road in Madison, Alabama. Please remember to like and subscribe. Click that like button. Subscribe to the Haven Comics YouTube page. We tend to go live every Thursday with Josh and Alan, the Shop Talk, where we talk about everything that's cool and happening with comics that are coming out this week, anything nerdy and geekery coming out through Pipeworks. You name it, they talk about it. And if you want to figure out where you can find me on social media, you can go to my link tree, or you can go to your favorite social media site, type in tpriceartworks, and chances are you'll probably find me there. And it looks like the comment section is blowing up. For a second, I thought that was a Cookie Monster emoji, and I was a little bit jealous that you had that option. Hello, hello. Hi, Judes. All right. So today we are doing, or drawing, I should say, Wonder Woman. Now, for those of you who just happen to have known me for any amount of time, know that Wonder Woman is my favorite character, has been for the longest time. Weirdly enough, she never originally won. Um, and it wasn't until uh, the early 2000s that newsstand and saw a cover of Wonder Woman just looking absolutely just badass. You know, what? When did this happen? And two, caused me to grab it off the stand, open it up, and read the right thing there. Didn't realize that the artist in question was Terry Dodson, um, who basically has influenced me more ways than one regarding artwork. But the history of Wonder Woman as a whole has just been really interesting. I'm sorry if the drawing cam shakes a bit. I want to move this just a little bit closer. So I'm sorry if I'm in and out of frame. But yeah, uh, let's see. Debuted in 1941, and her character was used to boost morale for the Allied forces. She wasn't the only comic book character that did that. Superman did it. Captain America did it. Even Batman and Robin joined the war. There's actually a comic where Batman, Robin, and Superman are all sitting on top of the barrels of howitzers, I think, or tanks, whichever one it is. Um, but later on, the character just kind of falls into the wayside, and it took the absolute creativity of Mark Wolfman and George Perez to basically take this character and just do something with them. And fantastic run of comics. And of course, Adam Hughes basically took the blueprint and basically updated to a sense. He is very influenced by Linda Carter, but I would say Adam was probably the first comic book artist to take the character of Wonder Woman and actually make her look how Amazonian warrior is supposed to look like, basically. Very athletic, um, equal parts, you know, the the warriorness of what you would see from a Spartan with the pathos and intelligence of an Athenian. Um, is absolutely amazing. Dude, when's the next time I'm going to be live? That is a very good question. If for some reason that you need to leave at any point, this video will be in our live tab, so you can watch it at any given time that you want to, or you can watch it on my Facebook page. Um, but as far as the next time that I'm going to be live, I am hoping within the next 2 Sundays that I'll be going live next. Um, Schedule pending. All right, let's get straight to it. Wonder Woman. So, in the vein of guys like Adam Hughes, Terry Dodson, Frank Cho, um, well, now also currently Daniel St. Pierre, uh, basically drawing Diana exactly how she really should be drawn. And that was the one thing about the New 52 that kind of irked me just a little bit, is that they made her short, and Amazons are not short, and did not make her look athletic. Another detriment. So it also feels good to be back uh, drawing again. And as I said earlier, I was feeling a lot of pain in my right forearm, and that was just from either being on the computer for hours on end, whether I was typing up emails or uh, was doing any sort of hardcore gaming. Um, and then, of course, drawing for hours on end, days on ends. For that really starts to uh, wear on the body. And it's definitely something that I don't really think it's talked about a lot. Uh, I will say it's definitely been talked a bit more, um, given that there's been several different creatives that have um, passed away literally just doing their job. Um, so health is a very important thing, and noticed that there was something wrong. Went to the docking box, and lo and behold, it's a repetitive stress injury, which I had done it before in my left wrist when I was a teenager, and that was just from poor posture from playing guitar, because it was the cool thing to have your guitar strung down low for no reason. And so yeah, basically it was take it easy for about a week or two, which I thought to myself, well, that sucks because I've got so much that I need to draw, so much that I need to do. Now I am technically ambidextrous, but primarily draw with my right hands. Tried drawing with my left hand before, and um, it's not good, not good at all. And ooh, dude, spider bites, not fun. I actually had a horsefly tried to think of me as its next meal a couple days ago when I was outside. And I'll tell you, I've never seen an actual horsefly in person before until that day. And yeah, kill it with fire. Uh, but yeah, so far, I mean, there's a little bit of pain. right about here, and uh, not like debilitating, but it is an annoyance because I had to be careful about not lifting anything, past a certain weight range. Trying to want to try to do anything was hard, and just the schedule that I like to keep couldn't keep it. And that really starts to bum a person out to the point that it can, in some ways, burn a person out. Um, yeah. So I'll talk about this a little bit more at length in my newsletter that I put up on Substack. It is completely free to read, sign up. I'm not doing any sort of paid subscription, whatever. Um, so want to read a little bit more in depth of my unfortunate time off. Now you know. But yeah, um, definitely listen to your body. If you think or feel that something is wrong, it's off. Uh, 9 times out of 10, yeah, that is the case. So, one of the things that I think about when it comes to Wonder Woman's physique is one, she is tall, definitely past, the 6 foot margin. And the other thing is that when I'm also thinking about her physique, she's not jacked, but I would definitely claim to say that she is what I would consider the same kind of physique that you would see in a CrossFit athlete. I think. I mean, they're not exactly bodybuilding. But that's a completely different aspect. Uh, I don't think that she would be lean at all, despite the height. Um, and that was definitely something that certain artists, whenever they were drawing Wonder Woman, they always made her too thin. And that was one of the things that I was absolutely happy about when I saw Terry Dotson's Wonder Woman. She looked powerful. She looked tall, beautiful, exactly how she should be portrayed. Now, I'm going to go a bit step further with uh, facial features that would be considered Hellenistic, um, or Greco-Roman, I should say. And I'm going to do a mix between uh, the modern, a mix between the modern suit and the golden age, almost kind of like a hoplite kind of suit. And oh, hey, James, like Olympic track runner build. To an extent, yeah, um, but at the same time, no, because track runners, they're not uh, built. I mean, they are. I mean, they obviously have a lot of lean muscle on them. Uh, but Diana should nowhere be near that thin. Because whenever I'm thinking about Olympic track runners, I'm thinking about crap. Who's the woman that they tried to take her medals away, but then she got them back after being requalified for the Olympics. Anyone who's good with names, please help me out with that one. So the best part about the sketch phase is that your best weapon and tool is the eraser. And I'm not saying that flippantly. I really do mean that. Uh, an eraser is more than just, something that you obviously can erase stuff, but I mean, you can create a lot of different things using, if you want to create some sort of effect against, gradient of some sort to, uh, great. I don't lost the words. I've been having trouble with words since yesterday. Uh, definitely do a lot of special effects. Tool is only as good as not just the person using it, but also uh, the way that it's being used. And also the intent behind it. Yeah. Hey, Bill. Sidetracked by Shark Week. Uh, Bill, let me know what your thoughts are about issue two of Scarlet. If you've gotten around to reading that. So we're going to be doing what's known as foreshortening. And what foreshortening means is that you're basically, in some ways, creating the perspective of certain things that look like they're diminished, but in reality, they're still there, but other things are a bit more in perspective towards the viewer. So in this case, with uh, this arm right here, so we have shoulder muscles, biceps, and what's going to be the forearm right here. Now, we're going to be foreshortening the forearm. Um, so the entire forearm will not be completely drawn out, but it's giving the effect that it is right there in front of you. And then, of course, that's just right here. But we won't be foreshortening this arm. It's right there. Okay, so basic building block of Diana are already here, and haven't read it yet. Let me know. Awesome. Because issue one was fantastic. Um, so what we're going to be doing uh, is that with the I'm going to call it the the iconic swimsuit look with her costume. So generally, it would be right here as far as just this part, and of course you have hips and thighs right here. But we're going to be doing it a bit different on the bottom. So what we're going to be doing is the golden age look, where it almost kind of looks like a skirt, but we're going to be focusing a little bit more like the Greek hoplites. And the hoplites were basically infantrymen of sorts. And saying that, that is a warrior as much as she is Princess of Themyscira. So we're going to be keeping the same middle area that would technically be gold. So this right here. But this part is going to be basically the don't really want to call it a skirt, don't really want to call it the dress portion, but not really even a kilt either. Um, no, I'm not reading on Candy Valley. Um, I probably should on my way for the trade. That's actually been something that I've been intentionally trying to move towards, which is less singles and just waiting on the trades of certain things to come out, and then I'll read it all go. I know that Josh feels differently about you know trades versus singles, and I get it. For the week, uh, with the week by week thing, yeah, you're going to be making your sales in any comic book store with single issues. Makes sense. But when you look at the overall market, uh, graphic novels, and that's including everything from big two to independent to even manga and scholastic. Um, they're still at the top, and there's obvious reasons why. It's so much easier to sit down, open up something, and you basically kind of have chapters, even though, yeah, they are issues, but you can look at them as chapters. And you don't have to read it all in one go. I mean, you can, no one's stopping. But there's something else, a different kind of perspective when you're having to read, like a chapter again. Anyone can do that. And of course, the other argument is the fact of they're easier to put in a bookshelf than a single issue comic. Which, yeah, sure, yeah, you got short boxes, but I personally enjoy graphic novels just because sometimes certain stories, the pacing, um, they do so much better in graphic novels, and it's really something that the big two really needs to start looking at a bit more closely. You don't have to make a 24-page comic and that be the standard um, for everything. Because if we're being perfectly honest, if you pick up any big two comic that is supposed to be 24 pages long, you're really only getting 12 or 13 pages worth of material, and the rest is advertisements. So in reality is that a person on average is paying close to $5 for 12 to 13 pages worth of art, and the rest is advertisements. Um, and that really kills the experience of reading something, especially the pacing of the story. So, you really don't have that issue with graphic novels. The only time you'll ever see any sort of advertisement is really at the end of something, where it's just like, oh, if you like this title, see all the other titles these people have done, or other things that our company is putting out, and read this, read that. Um, if it's one part of a bigger overarching thing, so let's say we're going to use Civil War for instance, because you had like the mainline story, they had like all of the individual uh, tie-ins that were doing stuff. So yeah, that basically makes sense. Who says, "Where's Josh?" Josh is not on my show. Uh, Josh and Alan do their own separate thing. Uh, this is completely devoid of either one of them. It's not like I don't enjoy their presence. I would love to have them on my show. They just never are. So Yeah. Send all your gripes and complaints to halogen.josh@gmail.com. Love you, Josh. X-Men 97. So I know that the entire series is already out. I'm waiting for the hype of it to die down just a little bit, and then I'll sit and watch it. I know that there are two different episodes that are like the whatever episodes that everyone keeps clamoring about. I've been pretty good about dodging spoilers. So I know that there's two episodes in particular that are like the I want to call them the money episodes, if you will. It's the one that everyone is buzzing about. It's the one that everyone keeps focusing on. So I know that the first episode of it literally is in continuity with the last episode of the original series. So I know that continuity is there. Um, so I'll probably it might be another month or two before I get around to watching it. I have several other different shows that I've got to watch first. So I'm very behind in things. When do they go live? They go live every Thursday night. Um, and yeah, I can't remember if Shop Talk starts at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I think it's 7 p.m. Every Thursday night, Central Standard Time. Um, they usually go on for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, yep, 7 p.m. All right, getting back to Diana. I'm sorry, I derailed you guys. So sorry about that. And let's see here. So first things first, we're going to be mapping out the face. Now, with the Hellenistic Greco-Roman features, if you look at any statue, if you look at any fresco arts, or I'm going to use Disney's Hercules as a perfect example. You actually see some of that influence in the character designs of people, but you have uh, very sharp nose profile, high cheekbones, what are often called as an alkaline feature. Um, but yeah, that tends to be the main thing with the Hellenistic facial features. Uh, if you ever get a chance to read Wonder Woman Evolution, Mike Hawthorne's the author, and he leans hard on those kind of features on Diana. So, uh, unlike Mike, I'm going to soften up those features just a tad. And by the way, Evolution is a fantastic story. If you've never read it, I highly recommend picking up the trade. Um, I love uh, comics where you get to see characters like Diana, you know, suplexing things. And I know that in Evolution, she doesn't suplex the tank, but she does go toe to toe against, I think, two different tanks. Now, in the Tom King run that's happening right now, she does just like wreck base, and the action choreography in that is so good. All right, so we're going to put the main part of the tiara right here. What's going to be considered the center portion of the face. Obviously, we've got her face turned to more of a 7/8. Not really a full 3/4. So that is there. Then there. Mm, switch up erasers just a tad. Alright. So, fun story. I was actually originally thinking about doing all this digitally, and then I just kind of talked myself out of it. Uh, if you are doing uh, any artwork digitally, awesome. But not trying to be looked at as must be showing his age or anything like that. But there is giant difference between drawing on a screen and the feel of the resistance and the unknown quality of doing it. Um, Francis Manipal, who, if you don't know who he is, fantastic artist and writer, um, is currently part of the group uh, that's doing all the Ghost Machine stuff. His new comic, The Rockefellers, it hasn't come out yet, but I have been talking that thing up. Um, I just find the idea of a time traveling witness protection unit, and it's a family that's doing it. I just find the whole concept like ridiculous and hilarious at the same time, and it makes me just want to read it even more. But Uh, but Paul was talking about how he had spent the last 10 years doing all of his art digitally. And the Rockefellers is the first time in a decade that he's doing everything traditionally. And let me tell you, he's done the process shots that he's been posting. They're so good. So, so good. Um, we wait. And I need to pull up a reference regarding the chess piece. Trying to decide what version do I want to go. It's always been a hard one. Some variation. The system. Um, if I was coloring this, which I'm not going to be doing that today, I might do that at some other junction uh, after I get done with the pencils for the show. But um, skin tone has always been kind of the hard one when it comes to Diana because first things first is that there aren't enough skin tone shades when it comes to markers available for people. And even if you do happen to buy the right one uh, online, it's such a crapshoot because you don't know if if you get a dud or the color is too light for what it is that you're wanting. So is it weird that I read comics? No, it's not weird that you read comics. uh, I think it's more weird when people aren't reading comics and they try to come off as the world's leading authority on any sort of comic book piece of media that's out there, whether it's a TV show or a movie, um, or even the books themselves, the moment that they get released. Uh, but anyways, it's really hard for me to find uh, a Copic marker that emulates that just Mediterranean um, olive skin sort of thing. I know it's possible to create the color if you're using like paints, or if you did it digitally. Obviously, there's that. But going back to the tactile nature of doing things analog, uh, I get really giddy and excited whenever I find the right shade of any color that I'm looking for, whether it's skin tones or primary colors, uh, secondary or tertiary colors, which I've got to do my annual double checking on my markers to make sure that they haven't died, because I haven't used them as much as I should in the last year. Plus, my work's been a lot of black and white lately. Okay, that's enough futzing around with that. So, let's see here. What comics am I currently reading? So the only two comics, big two related, that I'm reading, obviously Wonder Woman. The Tom King run has been fantastic. Um, I would argue to say that this is probably the first time since the early 2000s that she has had a standout storyline happening. Because in the early 2000s, that's when they really pushed on the whole Agent of Peace thing, which is something that I feel like kind of needs to be done a bit more. But in this run with Tom King, it kind of reminds me of the how the old Hulk comics used to be when Hulk was always on the run from the government. Well, kind of the same situation with dying. I am I am signed up for Blood Hunt. I've only read issue one. I still need to read issue two, three, and four. Um, so I'm a bit behind. I do know of a certain big event that happens in issue four, which ties into a certain comic that got released last week. The reason I'm being very uh, not distant, but cagey with my words is because I don't want to put spoilers out there for people that haven't yet. But let's see. I am signed up for the new Jenny Sparks comic that's just coming out because I've been a long time Authority fan since I read the first issue on the newsstand. So, but yeah, those are really the only things from the big two that I'm I'm actually reading. Everything else is independent. So all of the Energon universe stuff that's been coming out through Image Skybound, so Void Rivals, Transformers, um, Duke, Cobra Commander, obviously Scarlet. I did read Destro #1. The story was good. The art could have been better in certain places, and there were certain panels that were kind of derpy, and that took me out of the story. Um, so I haven't read it, which I'm not even sure if issue 2 has come out yet. Uh, but I'll give issue 2 a go. Not really. I don't really have any high hopes for it. I am signed up for the Rocketeer. It's been very off and on with whatever stories that they put out. Let's see what else. I think Dawn Runner is over. I haven't read the 3rd issue yet. Conan the Barbarian, the new series that Jim Sut's been doing, has been fantastic, including Savage Sword. So that's basically that. I mean, there's a couple of books that end up kind of like falling into my pool. Most of the time, they're blanks, but I'll give like the first issue a go and see if I'm willing to want to sign up for something. Um, I know that Josh and Alan both are really big into the AWA stuff. Um, most of the titles just not for me, and that's fine. Everyone's engagement interest is different from others. Uh, I am actually pretty excited for Flash Gordon when that comes out, Johnny Quest when that comes out, Adventure Man. Cannot forget about Adventure Man. I will say that the release on Adventure Man is almost as loose as the Rocketeer, but there's there actually is a good excuse for that. And it's mainly just to the fact that when you got two guys who are basically legends in the industry now, and they're trying to put together their own series on top of everything else that they have to work on, uh, and being at conventions and stuff like that. I Making comics is it's work. It's hard work. All right, lasso time. see here. Put all your drawings and make it to a comic book. Funny enough that you should say that. I actually do have a sketchbook. It's full of various different commission pieces and different sketches that were in my will spread across three different personal sketchbooks that I compiled together in a 40-page book that is on sale at Haven. And it's all stuff that I did during quarantine. Actually, there's two things in there that are from 2019, but everything else is from 2020 through 2020, well, the beginning of 2022. So that is all in there, 40 pages worth. So there is that. Aside from that, I am working on a pitch with a collaborator of mine. His name's Reed Beeman, which will probably have him on the show again. It's been a minute. Pretty sure he would not say no. Unless his wife tells him no, then all bets are off. But um, sure, I want to do that version. Suck at drawing. I try to make a comic book when it comes. So something that I've talked about in previous episodes. If you can do a 3-panel comic, so you have your beginning, your middle, and your end. If you can do a 3-panel comic, and it doesn't matter how many that you can do in one page, it could be about it. But start with a 3-panel comic and just see what you can do with that. Even if it's stick figures, as long as it falls under with the sequential art, with this art in sequence, it can visually tell a story. Because some of my favorite comics are stick figure comics like Sinai and Happiness. You're talking to someone that grew up reading Calvin and Hobbes, Garfield, Bloom County. So I think I said Garfield. I don't remember if I did, but yes, Garfield. But if you can do a 3-panel comic, and then once you do that enough times, it doesn't have to be all in one day. It can be over a course of a couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever. But when you feel comfortable enough to the fact that you can do a 3-panel comic, elevate to a 9-panel comic, one page, and do several of those. If you want perfect examples of 9-panel comics, I highly recommend Watchmen. Almost every page, not every page, but almost every page, is a 9-panel page, and that right there can definitely help you out with that. Any comic that Tom King has written with Mitch Gerards, so we're talking Miracle Man, we're talking Strange Adventures, or is it Adam Strange? I think it's Strange Adventures. And any other like one shots that they've done, 9-panel comics. Tom King, as of right now, kind of abuses the 9-panel, and he basically has realized that he has abused doing that for years, and so he's been trying to get himself out of that. But another piece that can help you out in terms of making comics is finding a book that's literally called Making Comics, is by Scott McCloud. It's only I'd say it's about 200, 250 pages. And don't let that freak you out. But the entire book is a comic. You can literally read it as a comic. And there's a lot of resources and bits and pieces of information. If you can't find one available on Amazon or any other bookstore, try to see if you're whatever local library they happen to be near. See if they have a copy and get one from them. I remember the first time that I read it, I got it from my local library, and then I searched for an actual physical copy from a bookstore. But yeah, that book in and of itself, I will recommend to anyone, still literally to the end of my days. Perfect example is David McDonald. This guy right here knows exactly what I'm talking about. Um, so go to your public library. If you happen to go into Decatur, find David. He might be able to help you out. Yeah. But yes, I've actually been trying to, which I'm pretty sure Josh had forgot, or for some reason at that time period we weren't able to focus on it. But I have told Josh a couple of times that we do need to actually get that book in the store, uh, just because the amount of people that want to try to start getting comics but they don't know where to start again. Perfect. It is a perfect launch pad, and I highly recommend that book over uh, Drawing Comics the Marvel Way, simply because with making comics, it's just about making comics and fun doing. You're not strictly stuck into the realm of shapes and types. And that's a whole other topic in and of itself. But uh, the other reason is that unless you want to draw like uh, the Gold and Silver Age guys, then sure, pick up How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. And you'll learn how to draw exactly like that. But it doesn't really explain how to make them. And that's what Scott McCloud's book does in spades. So um, until you start doing them, and yeah, they won't always be a banger when you first start. You're going to have some limits, but it's in that process that you learn, that you figure out what your visual language is. What you figure out is your storytelling narrative. But whatever you do, don't follow the tropes. And by tropes, I mean don't follow what is considered the fad or what was considered a fad at one point. Um, you want to do a Western comic? Do a Western comic. You want to do a comic about pirates? Do a comic about pirates. The sky is literally your limit. You are not fine to just doing comics about pirates or uh, some angsty edgelord vigilante character that would have appeared in an image comic that never sold from the 90s. So I mean, you're not confined to these things. And believe it or not, I would love to read a Western comic. I know there was Canary, but it was technically a horror comic at the same time, so it didn't really count. But like a straight up Western, in the vein of like Oprah, I would love. to read that. Do I have time to do that? No, I don't. I can try to find the time. It'll be a couple years, but let's see here. Which, speaking of westerns, the new Kevin Costner western movie, 3 hours long, no intermission. Uh, I feel like that was a giant oversight. Um, I really do think that now that modern movies are starting to get back into that fold of, uh, you know, when you're getting past the 2 hour mark, especially when you're approaching the 2.5 hour mark, there needs to be an intermission. Uh, there used to be intermissions. You watch any what was considered a big budget movie back in the time period of the 50s and 60s. They would do 30-minute, 15 to 30-minute intermissions in the films. Perfect example would be Where Eagles Dare with uh, Clint Eastwood and I think it's Richard Burton that's in it too. Fantastic uh, war espionage film. The music just has this mood to it. Just the opening uh, tones of the horn section, so good. All right, I think that's just it up. It's still gonna. All right, shoot. I don't know after. So, uh, there was a question that was brought up to me. It's probably over 2, 3 weeks ago regarding character design, and something I've noticed when it comes to certain artists when they talk about character design is that chances are they're really not doing anything really different with the character except giving them a new costume or a new set of threats, what have you. So in reality, you're not really doing character design, you're doing costume. which costume design is important when you're thinking about, you know, plays, uh, movies, TV, commercials, what have you. And there's nothing wrong with like updating a suit. There's really nothing wrong with that at all. But when you sit and think about character design, the character in and of itself, uh, if you can't tell just by a silhouette alone your character versus any legacy character, then chances are you probably need to start tweaking your character to the point that it can be recognized. And I know that that's a hard thing to do, uh, given that it kind of feels like everything's kind of done underneath the sun. Um, Somewhat it kind of happens. Every now and then, there's something that will slip through cracks, and it will, blow through the socks off. But like, if you saw a silhouette of Hellboy and you saw a silhouette of, let's say, uh, Iron Fist, well, you can obviously tell the difference between the two characters. Um, but something that I've noticed a lot with just, I guess the direction of, I want to call them house artists style, but when you start looking at a lot of the characters that are putting out from who's considered the next cream of the crop artists out there, and there are a lot of really good ones, but you line up the looks of all these characters and they all just kind of start the mold and look the same. Uh, and it's something that I kind of appreciate about guys uh, like Mignola and Humberto Ramos and uh, you know even Scotty Young. They're able to take the most mundane, basic shapes and give it character, and it works. And that's something that I've been slowly trying to do in my off time. It's just pop open a notebook and just try to whittle away uh, character design. All right, man. See you on Thursday. Hmm, line that up. Yeah, that's the best. Hmm. Back to the lasso. So the fun part about drawing the lasso and do as many twirls and loops within reason. But uh, at the same time, go wild. Now, a cool little trick when it comes to drawing for a lasso is that when you start to deal with, you know, inking or just really tight pencils, you can actually get away with the loops of the lasso whenever certain parts are crossing. Um, that you don't actually have to draw the difference in terms of overlap or anything like that. You can actually just have it out all as just one seamless thing. Kind of gives it more of the magical aspect of the lasso. All right. Yeah, well, you're going to move over towards the shadow first. Ah, what's happening to yourself? Oh, never let that one down. Uh, oh wait, Tots, how was the game Friday night? see. Oh, stretch the old limbs. Right. I think this is all that I'm going to be able to do today. Unfortunately, I do want to go to sleep. Anyways, I'd like to thank everyone that came out tonight. Everyone that happened to have thrown in a comment and like. I've seen you. Um, so thank you guys so much. Probably be going back live again within the next 2 weeks, I believe. Going to be busy trying to do catch up on some stuff regarding pitch, personal work, the GI Joe friend with the comics. Hopefully, by September, I think. And then, of course, there is going to be a drawing prompt for September that we're doing every day based around. So, if you're a fan of the franchise or you're definitely check that out. All right. See you guys later. Before I leave, I'm going to do the last sort of housekeeping stuff. I'll do it again. It's fine. If it annoys you, but it kind of has to be done. Haven Comics, look at 1871 Slaughter Road, Suite F. And please remember to like, subscribe. Every like, subscribe, comment, share, uh, clicking the notification bell, all that stuff. It actually does help. All of the YouTube munchkins that are out there that are in charge of, you know, the algorithms and all that weird crap. It actually does help us out. But I'm gonna zoom this in just a little bit because I'm so sorry that I had this kind of zoomed out. But here it is. I will see you guys when I see you. Good night.